Welcome back to Mess. How's everybody? How's everybody doing with the mess today? Mess du jour.
Mess du jour.
RJ, this week
What did we do now, girl?
we watched This week we watched OnlyFriends, episode 5, the 25th hour.
The 25th hour.
Mm-hmm.
The metaphors are really...
This was
the smartest.
I really liked this episode.
Felt very clever. I know. So, okay, established now. Every episode has had a very specific point of view. Not obviously for the entire thing.
Right.
But at least
it feels like it starts and ends with one person.
It starts and ends with it, yes. Mm-hmm. And we are in the sand era.
We're in our sand area. We're at the beach.
We're at the beach. We're sandy.
Sandy cheeks.
Sandy cheeks. Hibernation.
So Sand, he has this montage at the beginning where he was like, I work to live. That is his vibe. His vibe is I work to live.
Yes.
He does not live to work.
He does not live to work. He works to live.
He works to live. Which includes fermenting plums. It includes waking up at 7 a.m. every day. Hitting that alarm.
Yeah. Doing that push-up.
Doing that one push-up. Yeah.
Fermenting the wine, playing the gigs.
Playing the gigs, selling the girls.
Selling the girls.
Yeah.
Book the girls.
He's a busy bee. He's a busy little worker bee because he is trying to
play at Woodstock. Which girl? He's trying to it's like a British underground festival.
Sure. I believe it.
Adam's main question was like, there are music festivals in Bangkok.
I mean, I said that in the time, but now thinking about it, I'm like, well, if you want if your niche that you really like is that like that kind thing. Of that 70s, 80s.
Yeah. You want to go for the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go with that vibe.
Yes.
I don't think the song we've heard him sing necessarily give me that vibe, but like go off King.
There is a moment that Ray calls it out on him. It's like,
yes,
why are you singing these chicken shit songs?
Why are you performing these chicken shit
gigs? And then you're like, fucking assholes. Woo!
Yeah.
Like that doesn't sound like the songs you actually want to sing. And he's like,
it's what people want.
It's what gets me the tips at the end of the night.
Yeah. Work to live. Do not live to work.
Do not live to work. As girlies, which I'm sure these girls, if they're watching us deranged people talk about.
If they're watching a YouTube channel recapping a Thai BL,
that means that they are listening.
None of you.
You girls are working to live. You're clocking in on that job.
And you're clocking out.
Clocking right out as soon as time's up.
And God bless you.
God bless you.
But there is something about Ray. There's something about Ray.
That's Drew Barrymore. Cameron Diaz.
Retired actress, professional Cameron Diaz. Yeah.
Annie 2014 did her in.
Nearly did
us in.
Yeah.
Yeah, something about Ray makes him want to stay up for a 25th hour. And so
he feels like he gets an
extra hour. Mm-hmm. Ooh, this metaphor is gonna bite him back in the ass at the end.
It's so good.
And it's so satisfying.
The world stops.
Yeah.
When he's with Ray. Somebody pointed this out on our episode 3 recap. Mm-hmm. Nick and Sand are both horse blinders on, knowing that they are like falling for someone
that they shouldn't be.
Probably not at the best stage of their life.
Yeah.
And it is easier to ignore the signs, ignore the red flags, than to address them head on and then be met with the reality and the logicalness of being swept away. Shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Because it is more fun. Like, it's fun. They're nice. Whatever the circumstances.
Mew in this episode, definitely you get the I think
Mew is doing it too, but to a lesser extent.
To a lesser extent because it feels more like self-motivated, that he's like, I feel like I'm not equal to him. Right. So I need to do something, as opposed to the other two.
Yeah. So he's playing at the bar, and Sand is, and there is a fight that starts to break out.
This guy bumps into Ray, and they're like, watch where you fucking going. This empty bar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not empty, but it's
such tight quarters that we have to bump into each other.
It's such a big bar. They have every booth filled up.
They do. This is true.
But it's a big bar. There's
also,
a lot of
it's a
room.
bar.
Also, it's a bar.
It's
Why are there a
not
lot of booths?
It's not a
It feels like it probably was a restaurant in a different.
But it is still a restaurant because they have a kitchen.
Yeah. Maybe it's like it's a bar.
A bar and grill.
It's a bar Louie.
It's a bar Louie. Sure.
It's a bar Louie because they have
probably better than bar Louie.
Yeah, because they have musicians at bar Louie. And so Sand is like, hey, my friend said back off. But he comes back for it. And then like that's when he pushes the guy.
Says something about Ray's mom.
Oh, yeah. It's like, am I in your...
It's just like
it's just
one
like
of those
your
passing,
mom.
like,
Yeah,
it's a your mom
your
comment.
mom.
But like, not to Ray.
Not to Ray,
Don't
girl.
do that, girl.
So like Sand almost like beats up this guy basically.
Yeah, like
and then,
decks him.
And then Yo has to come in and be like, hey, get the fuck out of this bar. And then this guy is like, you're a fucking pansy like he is. And she's like, and what about it? This
Also,
fucking pansy owns this bar, bitch.
Also,
This is
sorry.
a queer-owned bar.
Isn't this a gay bar? Have I been under the assumption this whole time? I
thought so too.
I thought this was a gay bar.
I thought this was a gay bar. I guess not, because there was technically a girl that...
Boston is picking up guys at this bar.
But then there was a girl that picked up Sand. But then, is that different because it's talent?
I guess, but to me, this felt like a gay bar. I was shocked by this comment because I was like, do you know where you are? Was the pride flag out front not a sign?
Girl,
but maybe I'm just inferring that because every character we've met is gay.
Is gay.
Every character is gay. The waiter. The other waiter. They have spent the night together. In what capacity, we don't know.
We don't know.
Okay. Could have been purely platonic.
Yeah.
We know they both got really drunk. That's all we really know.
Because they're both hungover.
Santa's making breakfast in the morning. Ray comes in.
Ray is like, I'm so hungover. And so Santa's like, okay, well, I made you fucking eggs, hash brown, toast. He made you a continental breakfast, girl.
There's the cereal bar over to the right.
Yes.
We have a basket of oranges over here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There are hard-boiled eggs in the mini cooler. I love a continental breakfast. Boy, oh boy,
Can I
love
tell
a
you
hotel
why?
continental.
It's the same thing as your museum cafe. You shouldn't be eating in a hotel like lobby, basically. And yet here you are.
A fun little quirk about me is that I love museum cafes. I don't know why, but if I am at a museum, I have to eat at the cafe. I love the novelty.
It is a very big deal if he does not
If I don't eat at
if
the
it's like
museum.
closed.
Yeah.
It like ruins his museum experience.
I just think it's...
And to be clear, it's not ever that it's like, oh, the food's really good.
No, it's just I'm eating and I'm happy that I'm eating at the museum.
In a cafe because it's not a place where you would normally expect to eat.
Yes. Yeah. When I tell you, when my family was here like 2 summers ago and we went to the Field Museum and probably walked to like 1 or 2 exhibits and then just sat at the museum cafe for about an hour and a half. Amazing.
Eating those prepackaged sandwiches. Yeah, getting that bag of Lay's potato chips. That was like
so
less at the
good.
Louvre.
We went to the Louvre. And the way that we ate at that balcony cafe.
Yep, we sure did.
So we could sit on the balcony of the Louvre eating my prepackaged croque monsieur. And
I don't even know if it was a prepackaged. I think it was like more basic. I think it was just like a turkey sandwich.
In a packed cellophane packaging and my baked Lay's potato chip.
So anyway, that's why you love a hotel breakfast.
That's why I love a hotel breakfast. Miss Ray.
Breakfast.
I can't believe we spent all of this time talking about breakfast and not the impending hand job that's about to happen in this kitchen. Ray is like, oh no, I don't really eat when I'm hungover.
I hate black coffee.
I hate black coffee. And he's like, okay, then what do
you want a hangover drink?
Do you want a hangover drink? He's like, no, there's only one thing that really helps me in a hangover, and that's fucking nuttin'. That's fucking seeding right now.
Oh my God. You're out of control.
Oof.
You're out of control.
I'm out of control. This damn show's out of control.
You don't need to respond in kind, girl. Ray is like, I need to release.
Yeah, give me a hand.
I need to pass the point of no return.
Yeah. Pass the point of no return. And so Miss Sand reaches in. He's like, okay, well, let me help you out.
They have this like... Their chemistry is crazy. Their chemistry is crazy. Their chemistry is bonkers.
The way they look at each other, they actually look like they're so turned on by each other.
Yes. But it's also not just like sex. Like, I think Mark and Neo have really good chemistry, but I think it really is palpable sexual chemistry. I think Forcebook have really good, like, cute chemistry, like sweet chemistry. Yes. I think like First Cow have like all the chemistry.
Yes, it's combined.
Oh, straight. Because like last episode at the record store, that was like
fucking
pure like nothing, and yet I was like sweating watching it. Well,
you're also sick, so
I've come down with something. I got the vipers.
Yeah.
This obviously is, I would say a little bit more elevated than a little pinky touch.
Yeah.
They look like they eye fuck each other. I mean, that's the only way you can say it. They literally look like they are going to devour each other.
Because they're trying to one-up each other in a way.
Yes, but it's playful. Yes. It's not purely just like sex in the way that it is. Yeah. It feels like with like Nick and Boston.
Yes.
Like it feels like they are like trying to like.
But there is something about Sam that feels like I feel like I know this guy.
He is so relatable.
And it makes it hotter.
In a way.
The whole rich boy meets like a relatable, like a salt of the earth. It's a
wonderful trope. Great trope.
And the way they one up each other, because it's like one person has
he's like, I'm going to pay for the beer.
Yes.
Because it's like in Thoroughly Modern Millie.
Don't bring her up, girl.
When Millie meets... What is the other girl's name in Thoroughly Modern Millie? The other girl. And they meet in the elevator. And Millie's like, I'm on the way up. And she goes, I'm on the way down. Well, it's a good thing we met in the middle. And then they tap dance in the elevator.
Would you watch OnlyFriends the musical?
Would I? I don't think this works.
It's not.
There's a lot happening. I don't know how you would be able to condense it in a way that I think you could. Again, back to Cherry Magic. I think you could easily condense it into a musical.
It would be interesting to see OnlyFriends in a play, but in a pressure cooker play in that way, where it's like all of these friends have come for like, I don't know, maybe like Mew's birthday party, and like all of it just like comes out in the wash, something like that, you know.
This is what you do. I figured it out. It can't be a musical though. It has to be a play. It's 2 acts. It's 2 separate nights. First night is the shit hits the fan, and then the second night is like 3 months later or whatever.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
In court. At the trial.
Yeah.
And then Nick, the roommate, we remember.
It's like, hey, what?
Ooh. Sorry to interrupt. What did he want? This is the thing I thought about later, but I was like,
I think he was just like saying like,
good morning.
No, because Sam gave him the other plate for or was going to offer him breakfast.
Only because he interrupted. But then he had already eaten.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not going to go back and look it up because it doesn't matter. The point is he interrupts and then he leaves and he's like, oh, I'm going to the gym. And they're like, that's weird. And Sam goes, that's weird. You're not the gym.
You're not the gym type girl.
Yeah. And he's like
well, maybe I am. I'm taking care of myself. I'm trying something new.
And then he's at the gym and he's fallen off the deep end. He's listening to podcasts. And it's not good. It's giving the problem.
It's not a girly pop podcast like this.
It's not Boys Love Boys Love.
It's not Boys Love Boys Love. It's not
Showgaze a Movie Musical Podcast.
Showgaze a Movie Musical Podcast. It's not Did You Read the Group Chat?
Right. No. It's none of these.
It's not Very Delta.
It's absolutely not Very Delta. Not Very Delta. I would say what he is doing is the opposite of what it's an opposite Very Delta moment.
Yeah.
It isn't Very Delta. It's the title. I don't even remember what the title was.
The title of the podcast was like, How to Be Someone Else, the podcast.
Yeah. How to be a person named Nick trying to be a person named Top.
Trying to be top.
And it honestly, We don't hear it. The vibe
is
is giving like alpha male podcast.
Yes.
I'm going to unequivocally say not great.
Yeah.
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 I think that's probably an energy we don't need more of.
It's not our two beloved straight guys with the backyard
boys, backyardigans? Is it backyardigans?
Super spy.
So he is working out. Top is
getting dressed. And it's this. Adam was like, can we count this as a hookup? Because there's so much sexual tension between these two people that are not even in the same room.
Not in the same shop.
But it's not
in the same locations.
But it's the way that like Nick is like working out to like prove to himself that he can be just as hot as Top. And Top just effortlessly being hot by putting on cologne.
It's insane to me.
There's just so much.
It's insane to me because... This speaks to Mark as an actor because I do really buy that Nick is like fully devolving in this way.
Yeah.
I need to be very clear about this. Mark is so hot.
Yeah.
Like
very attractive.
Hot.
Yes.
You'll also see that his clothing starts to change in this episode too.
He's wearing button-ups, Miss Girly.
Yeah.
He's not wearing his like
t-shirt shorts.
T-shirt shorts, which just feel like it's the guy in the neighborhood.
Yeah, college boy. Top and Mew are on a date. A date.
Yeah, a date. They went to like a temple.
Yeah, they're taking photos. It looks like they're taking like marketing. It's something like
design photos of some kind, marketing. Yeah, tourist. It reminds me of the book that at the Airbnb. It's like places to visit nearby.
Oh, that's 100% what it is. Yeah. And then they're gonna send it to what's that print company?
FedEx Kinko's.
No.
Shutterfly. One of those.
Yeah, like a Shutterfly. This is when you started to think there was something about this episode.
Okay, so on Patreon we do the reaction, and first of all, the reaction is probably twice as long as the episode because we kept pausing. So, like what we're doing right now, we're pausing a lot and like just talking about what the fuck is going on.
We're out of control.
It felt like I was like, this feels like a dream sequence. It feels like they're having like a different experience. They're having like a rom-com.
It felt like a different
to
show.
The drama that was happening in the show.
Yes.
The mess that was happening in the show.
It felt like, yes,
it
a
felt
dream
so
sequence.
Honeymoony.
But I also feel like that's purposeful because
it's about to go.
It's about to crash and burn.
Yeah.
So we have to get this because I think the point, correct me if I'm wrong. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the point is that like,
let us figure it out.
You still
get to enjoy it.
You still want to root for them as a couple, even though Top has made this mistake. I think we're supposed to look at them and be like, they do have chemistry. They are sweet together. I do think that Top likes Mew. I don't. Yes, I mean, we had this debate a little bit.
We debated in the reaction because it feels like the actions that Top has in the last episode and this episode feels like there is absolutely no remorse in what he did. If I'm led to believe that he truly loves him, it feels like from what they've shown me about, I don't know, just like him as a character, I'm like, I don't believe it. There's something, because
it's weird that we have not gotten.
There's nothing. They haven't talked about it in the past 2 episodes. The only
this is episode 5, and we've had Mew has started and ended an episode. Ray has started and ended an episode.
We have not had a Top episode.
I would say Boston and Top are the two that we really don't know like what their backstory
what they're doing. Yeah.
What's your deal, bro? I think Mew has fallen in love. Is ready to say I love you by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
That feels correct.
Yeah.
Especially with that scene at the dinner.
At the dinner.
Where he like almost stops seeing
the most dream sequence of it. Where
girl, you want to talk about dreams?
Yeah, it felt like a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was like the one where it was like
it was leading up to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, this one, a fucking scooter almost hit.
He gets like basically run over by a man on a scooter, and at
his
first
glasses break.
I thought it was sand because he's the only person we've seen with a scooter. Yeah. Forgetting obviously that like half the population probably owns scooters. Yeah. That's how rare they are here that I was like, the only person we know with a scooter has to be the one that hit him. Nope. This is not Chekhov's scooter.
Sam's trying to be like, okay, girl, do you have something to do? Because I do.
I have a
full life.
I have a full life that exists outside of you. And Ray's like, I don't want to go do my group project today. Which is what? What
are you doing?
What is this?
What is this
it done? Are there people staying there?
The way
are we still working on it?
Because here's the thing, girl. Nick, who is not in this group project, is doing the most work for this project.
I mean, technically,
Mew
so
was.
is Top. Top is also working on this. Yeah. But it feels like they hired Top, and it does not feel like they hired Nick. Yeah, well, it was weird because we believe Boston would be the person to be like, do my website for me.
Yeah.
I have to do this website. Can you do it for me? And Nick, being in the state he is with Boston, he would be like, sure.
Yeah.
The thing was like, Mew was like, how's that website coming along, Nick? like your supervisor checking in on you. He was like, great, it's almost done.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mew, what
are you doing? What are you doing?
But also they
were taking pictures.
He's working.
Because even later, Boston is like, oh yeah, like I barely do anything. And Ray doesn't do anything because it's his house. That's like his contribution.
Yeah. His contribution is the building, which honestly, fair enough.
Sure. Go ahead.
If I had a house to contribute to this project, I'd be like, that was my contribution. You're welcome.
Get me an A.
Yeah. Anyway, they go on this like again.
Sand is basically like, I've got a full life. And Ray is like, okay, fine. Well, I'll just follow you along all day.
Ray, there's a cute little montage of like them on the scooter, which is very Roman holiday, obviously. Very cute. Very Audrey Hepburn.
That would be
Ray. Cal is Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, like the energy, the vibe of khaotung or Ray's character?
Sure.
All of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Moon River.
Wider than a mile. Famously not a singer.
Sand. So... I think that's an acting choice. I think it's an acting choice.
There is a reason why he is like, doesn't sound like a good singer. Because he's supposed to be the guy that
who works at the bar.
Would play at your honky-tonk local bar.
Do you think his plum wine is the best plum wine ever made? No.
Yeah.
It's available.
So don't come for us.
I'm very scared.
You think the first girls are going to come for you?
Of course. They go to this like thrift store or like secondhand consignment store,
vintage girly,
but like they're all like graphic tees.
It's so interesting that Ray is like, ew, this is kind of gross, it's not my style. And I'm like, I feel like you as a rich person would know like the value in vintage, right?
Oh no, I think to me it read as like, I'm not buying stuff that other people have thrown away. But you're right, he did say style, but I was inferring that style to mean like, I'm not a thrifter. That's not his style generally.
Yeah, he is like designer girly.
Yeah, he's like Fashion Nova.
He's a Prada.
He's a Prada Gucci. Yeah, he's in that a Versace. He's not giving like Chanel. Like he's not giving like a Dior.
Fashion.
Yeah,
but it's giving like
fashion.
He's giving like tailored
Swift.
No.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
It's giving tailored.
Honestly, can I tell you what it really is giving? It is giving a little bit David Rose from Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
Like the blacks and whites. Mm-hmm. It's so boring.
So boring.
So they're picking out clothes.
They're like,
and
just
then
talk about the damn sex.
Sand is like, this is so fun. I want to dress you up like my little doll.
Yes.
It's very cute.
It's very cute because he looks like a little twink ass snack. My God, this little tight ass body wearing these tight, which is very funny.
Like baby girl tees.
Also like tight clothes because that is like very rock and roll, like 70s rock and roll.
Yes.
Or not a 70s specifically, but very Brit rock and roll.
Yeah.
That tight little body.
It's sick.
It's sick, right?
And the funniest part is like they're in there and Sanda's like, well, I'm thinking of like making this my third, fourth, fifth, sixth job.
Like if I start hawking clothes, like I'll go to like swap meets.
Yeah.
Buy shit like for cheap and then trade it in.
Yeah.
For like consignment, basically.
Right.
Or sell it as like, this is vintage.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
Scam. Ray's in the little dressing room.
And he's like, I need you to help me. I can't get this off. Can you help me?
Oh my God.
Come in here. And
this t-shirt you gave me that you made me wear is too tight.
So he comes in and he's like, take my shirt off. He's like, just help me because it's so tight.
Daddy. And then he's like, take my pants off.
Take my pants off. And he's like, I'm not fucking you in this dressing room. He's like, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
He does defend you.
She just defends you, Kim.
And
then Sam's like, well, should we just continue what we tried to start this morning in the kitchen?
Oh my God. No, he says he's not going to. And then he just does it anyway. Woo, 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 woo.
The Lord is testing me.
They're out of control.
Yeah.
These two are out of control. Just teases. Teases.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Actually, tease and tickle.
He teases him, and then he's like, you can finish
That's
the
all.
rest later.
Yeah. Hot.
On your own.
The hottest, can I tell you what the hottest part is? Is that
they're so hot.
And they never break eye contact.
No, they are dead. It is...
Ray
I'm gonna step out of the scene, and I'm going to say, first, Khao, I don't know what is actually happening with hands. Okay, right? It's probably just in front of him, just motioning. I don't even think he's in.
I mean, if you're going all the way in the show to do full simulated sex, I don't know if they have an intimacy coordinator. I'm sure there's something, right?
I'm so nervous what you're going to say.
No, so I feel like they're probably like, he's probably like feeling him like through his underwear to like.
He's definitely got underwear on for sure.
Yeah, but like to fully simulate, I think he's like grabbing because I'm sure they're already grabbing.
I don't know any of that. I think the choice to stare dead into each other's eyes, being like millimeters away, not kiss. Very pointedly.
Very much pointedly, like, no. I'm watching you. I'm watching you do this.
There's still like a remove.
I know.
Oh my God. I'm not gonna make it through this show.
Fridgic is gonna sit up there on like the finale, just sitting up. And then on subtitles it'll be like, Adam could not continue.
Adam has passed away tragically in a
hot flash.
In a hot flash. Oh my God. Top and Mew are at this cafe. Top fixes his glasses, which is just he puts tape on his glasses. It's great. They're
having a conversation about something, and I'm like, I fully was just like, get me back.
It's cute. It's very cute. They feel very cute
because
together.
This episode is really focused on like each couple is having their own thing.
I would say that's been the theme of most of the episodes.
No, but like this episode specific,
they're all like on dates.
Yes, let me be more specific. Each couple has a day of like outing together.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yes, I know, girl, that the show is about 3 couples, you asshole. I would say the show is pretty.
Well, I would.
I would say that.
I would say that, and I did.
Tell out to these people that's what I believe. The show is about 3 couples.
And I'm going to stand in that. And I'm going to speak truth to power. I heard someone at the office today
say truth to power.
Say truth to power about real estate. And I said, girl. The waiter comes over with the check.
We had to this happened so quickly that we did
like a full CSI investigation.
It was
on this
a full
moment.
Wendy Williams. What was that? Like literally, we were like, stop, go beat by beat, frame by frame, to see what the fuck just happened. And it was literally...
He handed him the check.
And then just this is it.
First of all, we need to get the check trays.
Tray.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
We're not just handing bill. We're
not just handing a piece of paper.
He hands it, and then he like rubs his like this. What is that? The knuckle.
Yeah.
And then like slowly pulls his hand away.
And I will say, this is one of the few moments that I'm going to compliment the sound, because the sound does disappear. And this is when I thought truly that it was a dream episode, because I was like, did time just stop?
I liked Book's reaction here.
Oh yeah.
Because it was very like, am I
going
crazy?
Did that actually just happen?
Because
or am I
up
imagining
until this
it?
point, because he has been trying to keep Top at a distance.
Yes.
He's been like, it's been getting closer.
Yeah.
But he has been very like, I don't trust him.
Yeah.
Because at the end of this episode, he has to say what he has to say.
Mm-hmm.
We're also starting to build this like narrative of being like, oh, everyone wants Top. When you date, this is what we said in the reaction.
Mm-hmm.
I would never, again, I need to hold your hand. That's not about you.
Mm-hmm.
I would never want to be with someone who is a 10.
If I was dating Top, I
The
would live in that
insecurity.
hotel. I would follow him literally to every single meeting that he's doing. I would ask the hotel staff to be like,
If you
I
think
would literally be Judy's with front desk and be like, where did she go? Where did he go today?
Yeah.
Did you see him
If
leave?
you think Nick was crazed for bugging Boston's car,
you haven't seen
nothing.
the craziness I would do.
Oh.
I would put a damn air tag.
Like in his skin while he slept. He'd never get it
There
out.
would be an air tag in that damn car. Oh, yeah.
I like under the muffler. Like it would be like buried in the car. He would never find it. I would know where he was at all times.
Absolutely.
I would chip him like a dog. I would take him to a vet and be like, or if you're just like that. I know myself.
Yeah.
So I married a 9. See how I did that? And I'm a 6. Why would you say that? How dare you? Does Top notice it? This is the great question of our time.
This is the question. Does Top know that happened? Is he so unfazed by it because it happens all the time?
Used to it?
He's so used to it. You don't know. Because he literally plays it out. It's not even like he doesn't do like a second take to look at it to make sure.
Right.
It's like truly like, thank you. And like just nothing happens. But Mew,
which I think is why Mew feels extra crazy.
Yes.
Because Top doesn't reciprocate it. And there's another one that happens later that Top doesn't reciprocate either. But Mew is like,
it's so wild.
What is happening?
It's so wild.
It's so crazy.
This is the most interesting thing that Mew has done for me. This like this like, am I going crazy or
I really like this. It's going to help. It's going to make the explosion with what he finds out even bigger.
Totally.
Yeah. Nick and Boston are hanging out at the pool.
Well, first of all, they're just like
Boston.
hanging out like by next to the water.
First of all, they're working on this
'Cause Nick's working on the website.
Yes, the very important website.
And Boston is like, wow, you're like dressed differently and have you been working out? Girl, one trip at the gym is not going to make
No, it doesn't do anything, girl.
But okay, for the narrative, sure.
The problem is that he noticed.
That is the big problem, is that he noticed.
Because now Nick is like, oh, yes.
It's fucking working.
Yeah. Because he just wants him to keep noticing him.
I know.
Nick, baby girl.
It's stigmatization. Like that is the only, I've come to that conclusion now. That's really the only thing. Boston is someone who typically fucks around with someone like Top. A self-worth is my like sex appeal, basically.
Yeah. Because it's very clear that is what Boston finds value in.
Yeah. And what honestly he finds valuable in Boston. It's not like he's saying like, oh, he's sweet to me.
Right. He's not the great poet laureate.
No,
okay,
girl.
honey. Boston's not. You know what? We don't need to do this.
Let's not drag Boston. I think he'll get dragged enough.
I think he'll be fine later on in this very episode. So Are you he tries to phrase it so casually.
So casual.
To the point
that is what I like about Mark's acting. He is playing.
I think the script is really good about that too. Yeah.
All of the things that it's so obvious to us as the audience that he is trying to pretend like he is cool about everything.
And I really like,
but it feels still believable for this character that like in a normal setting, it's believable.
I also like the way that they always block them, where he's like, they're not looking at each other. It's always like we're looking at Nick and Boston's behind, or like they're set in such a way where we can see like Nick's reactions, but Boston can't.
Yeah.
So we see Nick try to formulate, how do I ask if we're exclusive without sounding like asking, can we be exclusive?
Yeah.
And it's like a full mind game that he's trying to like, it's a chess move that he's trying to like finagle.
Yeah.
And Boston, oh my God. Boston is like, well, I have a lot of people that I fuck. But currently I've been like not doing that as much. And kind of you're the only one I'm hooking up with at the moment.
It's so interesting. He is also saying it as casually. And he's like, and like almost genuine. Like, I'm having a lot of fun just like with you.
Because I don't think he's lying. I don't think he's lying. That's what's crazy about Boston and Nick is like, I think Nick obviously is like really smitten with Boston, unfortunately. Yes. But Boston is not like he dislikes Nick or he's only using him for sex. I think Boston is probably a little more clear on what the relationship really is. The problem is that Nick is falling and Boston is not going to catch him. Yeah. The other thing that I like about what Nick's question is he's also trying to figure out, is he going to tell me that him and Top
that he's fucking? Yeah. He's like, I'm fucking someone else or whatever.
Right. But he's like, no, it's very normal. Everything's very kosher right now. Nothing going on.
Top and Mew come to the group project. He's like, I think they make a cute couple, basically.
Yes.
And Top's like, yeah, I don't know. I think he basically is like, I don't think it's a good pairing.
Like, I don't think you know your friend.
Yeah. He's like, I don't think Boston
And the craziest part of this entire 4 conversation is everyone knows what happened except for Mew. And Top knows that Nick knows. Boston doesn't know that Nick knows. And Top knows that Boston doesn't know.
Yeah. It's like Top knows everything.
Nick knows everything.
Nick knows everything, but Top knows why Nick is doing it.
Yes. Well,
Nick knows that, but Top is the upper hand. Top has the upper hand in the whole situation.
Yes.
So when he does say like, I don't think you know your friend as good as you think you do.
Yeah.
He genuinely means that. He's like, I know what's actually going on. He's not your friend. And this was the thing. Mew was like, I just want Boston to find someone nice. To like make him feel like he doesn't have to do what he's doing right now.
He does do this whole thing of being like, I wish he'd stop sleeping around.
Yeah.
Which whatever.
To me, there is still something that like, it first started as like, what is your relationship to sex? Why are you holding out? Right? Mm-hmm. It comes up again in this episode that I'm like, so you do care about your friend. You do care about Boston.
Yeah. Sand and Ray are seeing a show. They're at a little concert situation, a little gig.
Yeah, this was funny. Because Sand gets them a drink and this girl named Summer.
Yes, Summer Ray.
Summer Ray.
Yes. The one true ship on the show, Summer Ray.
Summer Ray.
Yeah.
And Summer's like, yeah, none of my friends really like this kind of stuff. So like, is it okay if I like talk to you all night and so that like I'm not alone? Clearly trying to hit him up.
And girl, shoot your damn shot.
Shoot your damn shot, girl. He's like, oh my God,
This is the second time now that it is like weirdly insinuated that Ray wants to have a threesome.
Or like
Whatever.
Just something that
it's weird that it's now happened twice. Obviously, it's not explicit that it's saying that, but there is a dynamic happening here.
That it's like, I'm not his relationship with sex doesn't feel like it's like specifically tied
It's
to.
very fluid.
It's very fluid. Like it's like sex is just like something that we could be doing for fun.
Yes.
It doesn't actually affect the feelings that, because I think Ray has feelings, but it's not like
Ray has feelings,
like for Sam.
The question is, does he still have feelings for Mew? This is the great question of our time.
That becomes the great question.
Mew and Top go to, this is so goofy.
And this was the most jumping the shark for me. I was like, what the why are we doing specific dates like you would get at Groupon? What?
They go to a blind
dining experience. But then they do the whole thing of like, this is a blind dining experience. Like there's a host explaining what it is.
Yeah.
And Force is like, no, yeah, I just want us to like try something to like explore our senses because didn't you say something, blah, 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 blah. Like,
he's broken his glasses. They go to this experience. The whole like dream of him like seeing Top for the first time. And then he gets LASIK in the next episode. I don't even know. Is this just like a really big plug
ad for LASIK?
For the Jimmy C show? Total Eclipse of the Heart. What is it called? First eclipse? Last
eclipse.
Yeah.
Second eclipse?
Full moon.
Could you imagine?
Listen, I wouldn't put it past them.
I wouldn't put it past them.
And that's brilliant.
Because they made it very clear. They were like, and like people who work here are people that are visually impaired.
Unless it is a full metaphor of like seeing someone for who they really are. But that is a very labored way to get to that metaphor. Yeah. Like we are really...
I mean, the glasses does it, I think.
Glasses usually solves the problem in most situations. We don't have to get LASIK for it.
Because, I mean, truly, if it was just the glasses, his glasses broke. When Top fixes it, that was the first time he ever saw like the host or the waiter doing that to his finger.
Yeah.
So it's like
stroking him.
He literally was like,
sorry. No, got it. Thank you.
But the fact that they do this blind date.
Oh, funny. Haha.
And then the host like also like up downs him.
Yeah.
So that's also something that he's
Everyone's gay.
Everyone's gay. Yeah.
Or it's just Top.
Top is so hot.
Top is he's an alpha.
He's an alpha.
I don't know what to tell you.
And everyone's in heat. And when the blood moon rises.
Sure.
You know?
Mm-hmm. I think it's weird that they're making them act like they can't see. I don't know how to do this without doing this.
That's the thing. I don't know how you would do it because this experience would be like fully in the dark.
Like literally pitch black.
In the dark. Yeah.
Like you would have to film it in night vision basically. And like that would be out of nowhere the show starts to be in night vision. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
So that was just weird because I was like putting myself in as being like they're just acting like they can't. What's the point?
Yeah.
But then
they do this like extracted dream like sequence where
he holds his hand
because the whole thing is like use your other senses, like, and it's meant to, by using my sense of touch and my other senses, I can genuinely feel the real person in Top. Like I'm seeing the real person that cares for me for the first time.
Yes. I trust him fully. Finally.
Which isn't that the craziest thing about trust?
Because you shouldn't. Him.
Because we all know that he is not to be trusted. We watched it happen. We heard it. We watched it.
We used our senses.
Yeah.
Okay? I felt it.
And here's the thing.
In that one shot, I felt it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Obviously, one mistake does not define this person's character.
Of course not.
But
that's a crazy thing to think.
That's a crazy thing to think.
That's a very online take.
Yes. But there is something about the no remorse for me.
It's the no remorse in that he hasn't told him.
And he has not told him.
Multiple
opportunities. They literally have an entire episode last week of like, no more secrets.
Yeah.
And he chooses to talk about cocaine instead.
Also, he was his friend. It's Boston.
And it's his friend.
Yes. It's a hat on a hat on a hat.
It's not actually about the act.
No. I mean, it is.
But it's not.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The act is easier to... This is the thing. Mm-hmm. This is the thing that is the worst part of like infidelity, cheating, is that it's not the act itself. It is the secrecy around the act that breaks away the trust.
Yeah.
Because if you were to like go out and fuck and then like come straight home and be like, I just fucked somebody, I can't believe it just happened. Like, there'd be questions like, how did it get to this point?
Right.
But like, at least it's like out there in the open immediately, and then you can start working on it immediately. The longer it sits and festers, the longer it sits in Uncle Fester's.
The longer cousin it sits in Uncle Fester's. And you know, the thing about it is...
On Wednesdays. Great.
The wait top is lurching.
Oh, that's good. So anyway, that's going on. It's very interesting. Dan gets this phone call, and his mom is like,
The loan sharks are coming.
The debt collectors are here. They're taking me away.
They're taking me away. There's so many of them.
And so Santa's like, I have to go rescue
save my fucking mother.
And Ray's like, I'm coming with you.
Yeah.
It's very funny the way...
He thinks it's like still fun. Like it's an adventure.
Yes.
And Santa's fully like, my mother is in trouble.
Yeah. And Ray's like, great. Let's go. It's so fun.
They go back. They find out it's the same bar. It's the same strip club that he found him.
His mom owns the strip club.
His mom owns the club. You find out that we make the connection that the person he was giving money to in that bar was his mom.
He's been paying her debts.
He's been paying her debts.
The debt collector's not there. It's actually his birthday. It's a surprise birthday.
It's really sweet.
Very cute.
It's very sweet.
It's very cute.
Because I think there's multiple tropes played, of course. Like the son kind of like being a provider for the family, right?
Sand and Ray could not be more opposite if they tried.
I know.
Opposites attract. Yeah.
Opposites attract. Okay, he is paying for debt collectors, which means like maybe his mom is like irresponsible in a way.
Sure.
Of some kind.
She's gotten into trouble.
He's gotten into trouble, at least that he has to step up and help. But the fact that it's more of like I want to celebrate my son who's been helping me. Mm-hmm. And like, because no one is going to do it. So let's like throw him a birthday party. And like everyone in the club, all of the dancers, they all love sand.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so sweet that Adam actually was scared that like Ray was going to have a big reaction to the fact that he's seeing such warmth from a mother.
From a mother figure. Yeah. I really got nervous about that.
He was like, oh no, I hope he doesn't like clam up.
Yeah. And he didn't.
No,
it's very sweet.
In fact, he like is really like charmed by it.
Yes.
And there's this super sweet moment. They sing karaoke and Ray's singing up there, and Sand's mom is like, I don't think he's just a friend. And Sand was like, I don't think so either. Let's find out.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good.
And gays and their mothers.
And it's like gays and their moms.
Sand's like breaking away the armor that he's put up against, what he's been guarding against him.
Yes. He knows how bad Ray would be for him, but Ray is breaking his defenses down.
That
and
it's like
really getting to him.
Yes. That I don't think he's like, this is bad because it's detracting me from what I'm trying to do.
Right.
I think it feels more like he's letting himself kind of enjoy life a little bit more.
Top asks Mew to stay the night. Mew calls Boston and is like, I think I'm going to give him my V card. And Boston is like, It's about fucking time.
It's about fucking time. You should have done it a long time ago.
Which honestly, I would have said the same thing, Boston.
Boston is not trying to be like, oh, are you ready? Blah, 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 blah. Or like, because I was afraid that he was going to be like, it's probably not going to be good that first time anyway. Or like,
he doesn't have a comment about it.
He doesn't have a comment about it. He's just like, yeah.
He says use a condom. It is, he knows that Mew is nervous about it. And so he's trying to, there is a level of it where he's trying to be like, it's okay. It's not a big deal.
It's just do it.
It'll be fine.
Should have done it.
Which is very nice. Boston, what is your fucking deal?
Boston,
I do not understand.
Deal? Do you hate your friend?
But he clearly doesn't, because this is the opportunity where you sabotage everything.
Yeah. Just be like,
this is the greatest be like, oh, the guy I fucked 2 weeks ago, which you know that Boston makes the choice not to say anything.
Yes.
Because Neo does a really good job. He has like a face he makes right before he responds. And you're like,
and then,
is he going to say something?
And then he's just like,
it'll be fine.
Well, great. You should have done it a long time ago. They consummate their
love.
Their love.
And
before they start, Top says, I love you, Mew. So, okay. This is when we pause the show and literally just like talk to Patreon for like a good 15 minutes.
So I think it's very easy to be like, I think he's infatuated. I don't think it's infatuation. Going on.
He's never been in a relationship to this extent. Top. I mean, I guess both. But Top, he even says like he's never been in a relationship this deep before.
Sure.
So I think like the depth, it's like unknown.
The newness.
It's like, oh, it's clearly love. I love you.
Yes.
I don't think he doesn't have feelings for him. I think they have feelings for each other for sure.
Yes.
Just say it. Just say it before you already know he's gonna give it to you. I don't know. I wish he didn't say it before.
I wish it was after.
Which he says it again. I mean,
he does say it again later.
He says it in response.
No, I understand. He says it before the sex, and there is something about it. Maybe I'm reading too much of this. There's something about it that feels like, I know if I say this, it will seal the deal, and you will finally let me
have you.
But maybe he does mean it.
But here's the thing. This episode, if it is meant to be like, we're just seeing it from Mew's perspective that like, yeah, he is ready. He is the one. It does feel like everything he did up to this point isn't just him trying to conquer me.
Yeah, I mean, he checked the checklist.
He did everything right.
Yes. As annoying as that we were with Mew by that, it took him all this point to get to this moment for him to be like, I love you, and now I can release this to you. Because my question is not, does Mew love Top? Because I do think Mew loves Top.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think he's like fallen for him very hard. I think the question is like, does Top love Mew?
Truly love Mew in what he's trying to convey? Or is there still like, is him saying it, is there a little bit of like, I'm convincing myself, maybe? Is he also sealing a deal for himself?
I don't know. It's very
layered.
It's very layered, very textured.
But that's the thing. I don't know if we are reading too much into it or not.
And this is hookup number 10.
This is
the only hookup of the episode, by the way.
Yeah. And it is not a hookup. They are making love.
Sand and Ray are hanging out back at Sand's place. Sand
is like, here, eat this.
So, Sand reveals a couple things. Sand has never known his dad. He knows of his dad, but he was like,
he was a one night stand for her.
From a one night stand.
And
she didn't. His dad doesn't know who he is. Da 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 da. So interesting. And then Ray reveals his mom drank herself to death, and he blames it on himself.
Because she used to be an actress.
Because she was an actress and had to give up her career to have Ray. It doesn't feel like a warm person.
Yeah.
Probably the opposite of what Sand was getting from his mom. Yeah. They start making out because they've been basically trying to fuck all day.
Yeah.
Like the whole, from morning, noon, and night. And they get interrupted by Nick and Boston.
Nick and Boston, because Nick was like, okay, see ya. And Boston was like, well, let's keep hanging out. Because you just look so good today.
So yummy. Delicioso.
And Nick is like, okay, yeah, let's go. Let's fuck today too. And they interrupt each other. And Nick is almost like, well, yeah, like we'll just whatever. Blah,
we'll
blah,
go to my room.
We'll just go to my room. And Boston was like, no, it's fun. Let's just party.
Because Nick and Boston are like, oh, we're just friends. Which is very interesting.
Very interesting. Still no one is. And then Ray and Sand too. Ray was like, oh yeah, we're just friends.
Oh, we just hang out.
We just hang out.
And Sand is clearly hurt by that information.
That is how quickly this day has progressed for Sand.
Yes.
Because at the beginning of the day, Sand probably is like still fully guarded. Like, yeah, he's just a guy that I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm not interested in anything more. And truly, it was at this moment where he was like, ooh, actually, I do.
So they decide to all get high.
Because Sand also makes little baked goods. And so they're like drinking, they're like partying, kiki kaka, and they're like kissing each other in front of each other. And it's like having fun. That they're like, oh, okay, like you guys are together. They're like teasing, like you, like basically it's like, Nick, you don't want to get messed up with him, blah, 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 blah.
And then immediately,
Boston, because they were like, well, you guys should date, blah, blah, blah. And Boston is almost like, oh yeah, once he fucking figures out what the fuck he's wants with Mew, then yeah, maybe they can date. And Ray is like, why the fuck do you keep bringing him up? You don't know anything. And then Boston is like, oh yeah, I don't know anything. Sure. I don't know about how you guys have already fucked. Like he says that they've like had sex.
Yes. Yeah. It's so... oh my God. Boston, you don't want... I don't know what you want.
I don't know what you want. You don't want to be friends with these people.
You don't want to be friends. I don't think you want friends. Or maybe you just want to be friends with girls. I don't know what the deal is. What do you want? What Boston says really embarrasses Ray.
Yeah.
Obviously, it makes Sand feel like shit.
Sand feel like shit.
But it really actually does embarrass Ray.
Yes.
There is what can you say to Boston to embarrass him?
Nothing. He wears his...
He has no shame.
Yeah, he has no shame.
So then Ray lashes out at Nick and is like, Nick, Boston only loves himself, so I would just not get involved, girl. And I was like, poor Nick is like, oh no. I mean, I understand that.
Because that's the thing. Nick knows that.
And also like Nick doesn't really... This is not about Nick.
No.
It's not fair to Nick, but I also like when you're Ray and you want to strike back, but like there's nothing. There's nothing. And the only thing is like maybe Boston likes Nick, so if you can kind of ruin that, then like you've gotten back at Boston. But like I don't think Boston cares about Nick like that. I don't know.
What Nick should have done, or what Ray should have done, is taken a page out of New York's book and was like, don't get mixed up with him because he is a fucking hustling Republican.
Tiffany Pollard, the woman that you are. It's incredible. And Ray is like, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. Boston's such an asshole. And Sand is like, whatever, girl. He rolls over and then...
He's like crying, essentially.
He's crying, basically. And then the voiceover is like, no, because none of Ray's 24 hours are for me. And I was like, that is the best. That like, ooh. Shout out to whoever came up with that shit.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. That's definitely the best.
It's the best way. And you can feel
felt it looking at him. Like you felt it, that he's that realization of like, I'm not someone important in his life.
Yeah.
He's just, there's nothing. Mm-hmm. We're just having fun.
Yeah.
And then Mew gave up his damn cherry. And Mew said, I love you. Top.
Yep.
And Top says, I love you too, Mew. And that's what happened to our friends today.
Oh, girl.
Okay.
I think with the mess meter,
Just keep it the same.
Just keep it the same. I think Boston is still the biggest threat. I don't think that's going to change. My MVP for this episode, the one, the only, Book.
The little...
I liked the real raw moments of vulnerability I felt in this episode. I thought the moments where...
You know what it is? Maybe it is a dream episode, but for him, like, he felt like this was a dream. This whole day was a dream for him.
From his perspective. Maybe.
Yeah.
I just really liked the moments where it was like the uncertainty. I hope we really build on that narrative, and I think he played that really well.
I really hope they don't just drop it.
I think it's a really strong choice, and I think it would be good for them to take it further.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought the moment in the dining, even though it was weird, when he finally like saw him, I was like, oh, I think that only works because I think Book sold it. Yeah. Them being he is finally at his most vulnerable right before and after. I think that was like really well done too.
Totally. I will give it to first.
Good. I was hoping you would, so that somebody would give it to first.
Who plays Sand? I mean, he carried the entire episode. And the way we just described that, he started from such a place of like guarding himself from feeling anything more than what this nonsense is,
right?
To the end where he's like, I mean, like bearing his soul to Ray.
Yeah.
Showing him his side with his mom, telling him what this is all for, letting him in. That like now that he's fully let himself in, and then like getting this like slap in the face that like, oh, maybe it was all fake because he might have an ulterior motive instead.
Yes,
that this is all just for him to try and get over something else.
Yeah, I'm a rebound or whatever.
Yeah, the heartbreak is like you see it so clearly.
He's so good,
and it's so good. Because like his face and his body says it all, but he's like telling him like, it's fine, good night.
First is on a full, like he has to play every emotion in this episode. From like,
which is funny because Ray did the same thing, like Khao did it in the previous episode. Yeah,
like from pure physical lust, like with the scene in the dressing room, to like the jovial, like we're really good buddies at the concert. To like a very like to being a son, and then to like now being like heartbroken. Yeah, he's really good.
My honorable mention is the woman that plays Sand's mom. She was just so warm. And I was telling Adam in the reaction, I love the trope when it's like there's warmth in somewhere like as like cold and it's like quote unquote immoral, like this like bar, right? Yep. Like the strip joint, but it's like
that's why we love Hustlers.
Yes. Yeah. There's like a sense of like, no, there's a family, there's like a community that exists here that
these
like,
are also people.
Taking care of them. Yes, they're also people that they're taking care of each other.
Yeah.
So it was so nice to see that. And I guess our one hookup was this. No, this was technically our one hookup, but I think the dressing room.
You're not going to count it? Oh, you're going to count the dressing room too?
Not in our official counter.
Okay.
But I think that moment wins my favorite hookup of the episode.
Oh, for sure. We also don't really see anything from the official hookup. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the staring at each other like an inch away from each other's faces. Oh my God. Bye.